Good evening, Madam President, board members, Superintendent Proporis, and Treasurer Vasic. My name is Corey Russell, and I am the proud principal of Euclid High School. And thank you for allowing me to speak about the great things happening at Euclid High School. Tonight is a busy night at Euclid High, like every night. We've got a PTA meeting happening right now, and we have our track teams competing at the GCC conference championship tonight. And I wanted to go off script a little bit and tell you a quick story, brief story. We've got one of the best 4x800 meter relay teams in the area, in the entire state. This team tonight, well, last week we know that they broke the record at the Euclid relays. But breaking news just a few moments ago, they broke the 4x800 meter school record at almost 10 seconds faster than their other opponent. That relay team it almost epitomizes what we've done at Euclid High School the last 2 years. If you were at Euclid High School over the summer, you would have seen young men and young women running from Euclid High School down to the lake, back, and asking Coach Gasper if they can do more. It's what's called momentum. They started building that by a little bit of progress. It was slow, small, and daily, applied effort over time that got them these amazing results, record-breaking results. Haven't been seen in Euclid ever results. And they went from people who barely ran, Coach Gasper recruited them, saw something special in them, and now they're doing amazing things. And it's really about their response to a challenge, their response to an opportunity. And at Euclid High School, everything with us starts with the R Factor. The R Factor teaches 6 skills: press pause, get your mind right, step up, adjust and adapt, make a difference, and build upon your skills. That relay team embodies those skills. And what it comes down to is this special equation that all of our students know: E plus R equals O. Every day there's going to be an event. That event is going to cause you to respond, and that response is going to get you an outcome. What we're trying to do at Euclid High School is teach our students that the most important thing that they have is their R, their response. And it's going to earn them a high-quality outcome if they have a high-quality response. And just like you've already seen at Euclid High School, we are all leaders, from our students, our teachers, our parents, our administrators. We are all leaders. And those leaders, they are what drives the culture. And that culture it reestablishes what the behaviors of the people who live in that culture. And that's how you earn results, based on the leadership drive of the culture and the response of our behavior that earns us our results. And when we talk about leaders, like I said, all of us are leaders at Euclid High School. I had the privilege and honor earlier this week with Mr. Proporis to see our students present a research project with the First Ring Leadership Group. Their research was based on student motivation at EHS, and they provided some recommendations. We're very fortunate now with our 8-period schedule to have a class called Advisory. So the students want to use Advisory for relationship building. We have a program called Zello in our district that allows us to get college and career ready and learn about future careers that students could potentially have. Our students are asking to have an increased use of Zello during our advisory period. And the big topic of across the nation is cell phones. And students, they want to see a reduced use of students' phones during school. We have other leaders in our school as well. We've got the ROTC, we've got students in our National Honor Society, and of course you've seen our Key Club, our wonderful Key Club, earlier today. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got so many kids doing a great many things who we are all very proud of. Now, in order to talk about what's happening at Euclid High School, I want to talk about one of the major changes that has happened for this school year. We have transitioned from a 7-period schedule to an 8-period schedule. And what it has allowed us to do is that creation of an advisory period. So you can see there after third period, we have advisory. Right now it is a 10-minute period. And it allows us to do things like the Zello, our morning announcements, our R-Factor lessons, and really an opportunity for our teachers to engage with our students in a different way. The 8-period schedule allows us to be more flexible with teachers in our building operations. When it comes to our morning routine, when we enter the building, we've got teachers involved in that. We've got teachers in hallway duty. We've got teachers being more flexible and having more opportunities to engage with students in different ways other than just in the classroom. We were able to reduce the number of students in the lunch period. So now our lunches are a lot more manageable and kids are getting food a lot faster. And it allowed for more students to choose courses that they wanted to be in. And it increases our flexibility in our elective offerings. We were able to introduce digital music production and now run that where students don't have to choose, do I need to take a class that I have to be in, or am I going to take this digital music production, a class with Mr. Siniglia that I really want to be in? Our fine arts get a chance to really explode because students don't have to choose from being with Miss Reich in the orchestra or doing a CCP or a CTE class. Now you can do both. Our college and career readiness pathways are something that we talked about in the last time that I was here, but we have taken advantage of these and we are really going to expand in the future. Our students now, because of the 8-period schedule, they can do their College Credit Plus classes and have a career tech class and be involved in work-based learning too. All of these things are possibilities for our students because we've introduced the 8-period schedule. And other things that are making a difference at Euclid High School, when I became principal, Mr. Proporis allowed me to bring mentorship into the school. Our mentors are making a difference. Right now, our mentors are working with students mostly in the cohorts of 2027 and 2026, our freshmen and our sophomores, really helping them with that integration into high school. And a lot of the times you think about what is that interaction? Is it always reactive? Is it proactive? Well, based on our data, the mentors are getting in they're getting into situations with our students proactively. They're stopping things from happening before they could. And right now, administratively is how students are referred to the mentors. What I'm looking for in the future is for students to really own their response, own that R. And before they're going to do something, they go see their mentor or a trusted adult prior to making a bad choice. So again, that R, the better your R is, the better your O's will be. So right now we can see that student referrals are the second highest indicator here. However, I want to see that increase. Before the administrator has to intervene, I want the students to be able to do that on their own. And what are some of the things that our mentors are doing? They're assisting with conflict resolution and mediation. If there's potential violence, they're there to intervene. When students are displaying reckless behavior, they are there to assist. And even student welfare and mental health, some of the conversations that they're having, coaching and mentoring our students through difficult situations. They're there for academic challenges when kids are having a hard time in class. They're coaching them through that. And when students are not showing up to school, they have a mentor that is contacting them, reaching out to them, and trying to make sure that they are here and have a person who's in the building who is looking after them. Our mentors are helping our students with decision making, and they even have goal sheets that they go over with the students to create goals to reduce some of the things that are happening before or achieve goals that they have for their future. Now, talking about making a difference, our PBIS system at Euclid High School is one that is award-winning. We are the only high school in Cuyahoga County to achieve silver status. Silver status, there's a PBIS rubric that has over 19 indicators, and based on our performance in each of those areas, Euclid High School has achieved better than any other high school in the county. In 2022, there were only 8 high schools that have achieved silver status. So for Euclid High School to be able to do this is a monumental task. It was such a big deal that the state came to video us and did a full series where there's 8 modules that you can watch about the process of Euclid High School's PBIS system. It was actually just released today. So, how is PBIS working? Last year, we had a Panther Palooza event, and this year we had our second annual. Last year, we had close to 400 students who participated, and they got to win prizes and do things like pie Mr. Russell and their favorite teachers in the face. This year, we had close to 500 students who were involved, and again, they got to eat pizza, they had a lot of fun, and they got to pie Mr. Russell in the face. But how did they get this opportunity? The students make great choices. They're turning in their homework, they're attending class, they are referral free, and they get an opportunity to come have fun and do fun things like make me look like that. And also, this is just a part of the culture of Euclid High School. We have gathered and done pep rallies, and our band celebrates, and our kids compete against our adults. There was dodgeball contests and basketball contests. Of course, the adults always win, but we have a culture of celebration and appreciation for being Panthers. And Panther Palooza is the end of the year kind of send-off, great event to appreciate our students and celebrate them for making great choices throughout the school year. An area that I'm extraordinarily proud of that we've grown this school year is doing a lot of events for the community. In the fall, we start off with our haunted house, and the whole high school gets decorated, and students come in and they get candy. We have tons of volunteers who come in and give candy, and the children are the ones who get a chance to come through and experience Euclid High School. In the winter, we have Mr. Young, who dresses up as Santa Claus, and we provide breakfast to our two families. They have breakfast. They're able to take a picture with Santa, and we even make it snow in our auditorium. You can see here that we had our Easter Bunny was present, and we had an Easter egg hunt in the spring. It was a phenomenal opportunity to bring in the little kids. I don't know, remember if you guys know that it was snowing the weekend before Easter. Crazy snowstorm that came out of nowhere. We actually, for the first time, took the Easter egg hunt inside and did it in our indoor track. And the kids ran. They got a bunch of candy. I was happy to send them off to their families because they were running around like crazy in the basement. But also, as you guys know, we had an amazing community event shortly ago. The Eclipse Fest was nothing more than, it was the most special thing that I think I'll be a part of as the principal of Euclid High School. The reason I say that is because it involved our community, our school, coming together and making something special happen for countless people. We have families who came in from out of state. We have families who came from out of the country to Euclid, Ohio, to view this special occasion. We all didn't know what to expect. We had the direction, guidance, and leadership of Mr. Young. We had a bunch of meetings that spanned almost a year to prepare for this event. And were we prepared? Our community came out in droves. We were all able to be safe in a fun and friendly environment. And it is the best thing that has happened this school year. A major area of emphasis for me when I became principal of Euclid High School was to get parents involved. I am so proud to say, I told you earlier that we had our PTA meeting this evening, but from 2021 and 2022, coming out of the pandemic, there was not a PTA. There wasn't. When I became principal, I was recruiting parents aggressively and calling folks and seeing if we could get a PTA president. I got one, and we had 3 total members in the PTA my first year as principal. This year we have 47 members. We did a membership drive. So I was doing the statistics, and that's like a 1,446% increase. So parents are involved at Euclid High School. You can get to the PTA meeting either by joining in person or you can join virtually. As we met Fallon Pulley earlier today, she's involved in our EBOPC. They have raised over $10,000 for our students to support the music program. They created a tradition of awards banquets at the end of the season, and there is consistent parent support for our musicians when it comes to providing meals, fostering support, or just being somebody who's present and there. They can count on our parents to support the music programs. The Parent Concessions Club is one that is really great and taken off this year. For the first time, we've had parents in the concession stand since the pandemic. We've raised $67,000 in funds to support the athletic program, and we have built a foundation to move forward and progress through our future. So I'm trying to tell a story of how we are building momentum at Euclid. Just like I started off talking about our 4x8 team, building that momentum. So the state has seen us do some really cool things. The last 2 years, they have seen consistent improvement in our Ohio State tests. So we have grown significantly in the area of test-taking culture, and our teachers have been the ones that have spearheaded that and have done a tremendous job. Because of that test-taking culture, we have achieved a 3-star rating, and we have our overall rating is, like I said, 3 stars, and we meet state standards for every high school in the state of Ohio. Again, that term momentum. Everybody can see what we are doing now. And it's not only can you see it qualitatively, but quantitatively, when you look at our data, you can see that Euclid High School is achieving at higher rates than it has in the past. And what do I attribute it to? I attribute it to our leaders. And like I said, at Euclid High School, we are all leaders. We are driving the culture that establishes the behavior that earns our results. We're not even close to being done. In fact, we are just getting started. I'm looking forward to leading Euclid High School next school year, and so excited to be able to do a presentation very similar to this next year, but talk about the amazing results that we would have earned. Thank you.
Any questions or comments? We'll start over here with Mrs. Toros.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. I love the opportunity to see all of the good things happening at the high school, and I can say firsthand as a parent, I've witnessed a lot of the positive momentum that's been happening. I know it's been a really rough couple of years following the pandemic, and that's been the case in a lot of schools. High school in particular it's been a really difficult time for kids coming back, and the impact that is still being felt. I read some research recently about the notion that relationships is one of the primary factors that helps students overcome trauma. And we know that there is trauma in our community, there is trauma in our schools, and so the notion of adding that advisory period into the day and prioritizing the relationships that our kids have in the school building, I really think is an important factor of how we're going to continue to make progress. So I appreciate that. I also, as a mom and a school board member, really appreciate efforts to reduce cell phone use in the schools. So I will look forward to hearing more about that in the future. And in addition to the awards that have been received and the progress we've made with the data, I really loved hearing about the resurgence of PTA and parent concessions, because those are really, again, part of the community and relationships that is going to be central to our success. So thank you very much.
Wonderful job. I really love your first ring leadership with the students. I love the involvement. I love hearing their voices and their research, and you guys actually listening and putting into practice some of what they're requesting. I absolutely love that. I love the flexibility in the schedule to give them more choices. I think that's amazing. And I love the environment. I've been in the building over the last 2 years, and the environment is really improving. So great job.
Thank you.
Mr. Botsky, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I mean, kind of just building off of what was just said, I really appreciate the clear passion you have for the high school. I mean, showing in the building of these different programs, with the leadership, the First Ring Leadership Institute there, with the community building as well, with the like you were saying with the solar eclipse. Just being able to reach out into the community with things like that, I really appreciate that. I appreciate the work you're putting into the school, and I'm, like you said, excited to hear from you next year, hearing about the rest of the results. So again, thank you for the work.
Thank you, Mr. Foskey.
Ms. Otu? Mrs. Otu?
Well, my comments are also very similar to what my colleagues have said, but Mr. Russell, thank you so much for your commitment and passion to creating a culture that the students can respond to. I think that's very important, and that's just like the basis of what is going to take the high school to the next level. So thank you for that. And also, I really value you listening to the student leaders and what their recommendations are and implementing what they want to see, because I think it's a lot of power in the student voice. So thank you for incorporating that into your practices.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I do want to make one point, and I found this to be extraordinarily cool. So in speaking to the teachers in isolation and speaking to the students in isolation, they both want to increase relationships, teacher to student and student to teacher. So now, and I was just meeting with our focus group earlier today for our SSIP. We had a great conversation about how to go about doing that and some strategies that we can implement. So tomorrow is going to be, we have a round 2 of that meeting that we started today, but we really are focusing on those relationships. And it, again, in that meeting, I was only acting as facilitator. And the teachers are the ones who came out and said this is something that they want to do. They want to find a way to increase relationships between them and the students. Having that advisory period is going to be a game changer, and allowing those parties to do so. So thank you very much.
No, Mr. Russell, hold on. Don't run off yet.
I was gone.
First off, thanks to your teaching staff and your other staff members. It really does take everyone to get the results that you have. You started off with that relay team. They're all underclassmen, too. They'll be back
They'll
again.
Be back.
So that's one thing. I know the board also commented on the first string leadership students. We had 2 batches of kids that we had our kids that did the regular year 1 program, but we had another group of kids that did a presentation because they already went through year 1 and they came back. They had a survey with like 4,000 students across the state of Ohio that they used, and we are going to invite them. So before I forget, Mr. Russell, we would like to invite them to make those presentations to the school board.
Yeah. So I've
we'll,
already spoken
okay.
with Ms. Mattinson. We're working
We'll pick. I'll pick a date and get back to you. But they were outstanding.
Yes, sir.
So I thought that was great. Comments on the schedule again. Options for our kids. Relationships between our teachers and our students is blossoming. I see it. All too often, it's hard to measure proactive work the mentors are doing. So it's hard to say, well, what happens if I didn't do it? You know. So, but I like the direction that's going. But you know, people forget about all the great things we do. The silver status with PBIS being. When's the video come out?
It came out today.
Oh.
Annie got a copy of it
Okay.
this morning. It's like 45 minutes.
Okay,
and
when do we put it out?
as soon as we can.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I got like a video of her video of it.
The video. I don't know if that's legal. So let's. Kudos to the 500 kids that were in Pantherpalooza, Eclipse Day, fabulous. I do want to point out it matters. PTA, the band, orchestra, parent club, parent concessions. That's the glue that makes the school go. It really is amazing. You did not point out that the high school has been removed from the state academic watch list. You did point out the progress. And for those who don't think our teachers and our staff and our administrators are making a difference, that report card is objective. And we have met state standards, and we're only going to go up from there. And that Momentum Award, there's not many high schools that received it. So, these are accomplishments, not us just making things to try to make ourselves better. These are objective accomplishments by the Department of Education and Workforce. So, kudos to you and the entire high school.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And we'll work on that date to get the kids here to do their presentations.
Yep.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Russell.
Okay, thank you.
Now you're dismissed.
At this time, we will take a 5-minute recess and then reconvene.
Really nice, Corey.